All right, here we go. Deep in the heart of North Georgia, in the town of Waleska, is Lake Arrowhead, the Highlands course. And we are hitting that today. It's going to be an exciting day. Hilly mountain top course. And all those trees, I will get very comfortable with them in this round. You can be sure of that. So, just warming up at this beautiful driving range they offer here, and then I like to chip balls into the bunker and hit them out of the bunker, and then pretty much ready to go. I didn't even do a practice putt, which I'll pay the price for later. Let's just put it that way. I'm hitting a 5-iron here, par 5, only 484 yards from the blue tees. You just have to lay up just short of that bunker you see out there, and then from there, you'll have to lay up again. I'm hitting a Titleist TS2 19-degree hybrid, and I have over 300 yards to the green, so I'm just trying to lay it up, going at that bunker on the left of the fairway, and maybe just play a little bleeder cut and hit a great shot, nice low hybrid, and I found the middle of the fairway for my third shot, which I have 73 yards, so I'm taking a 54-degree wedge, because I want to run it in there a little bit lower and have it run back to the hole. That was my plan, at least. And what I'll find out here in just a second is that the greens are pretty slow today. Wasn't ready for the green speeds. They had recently did a light brushing sand job on the green. They were rolling really nice, just really slow today. Summertime in Georgia. So I had about a 30-footer here, and I hit it pretty short. I had about 7 feet left for par. Not what I like to do on the first hole, this type of par putt. But usually, if you make these, they set the tone for your putting for the rest of the day. So I was happy about that. Nice little par on the first hole. So going to number 2 is 100 and it's playing 160 downhill from where we were teeing off. So I'm hitting a 7-iron, and my plan was just to play a little cut shot in there to take a little off of it, which I did, and hit an okay shot, probably maybe a 7 out of 10 on the MrShortGame scale. So I came up a little short, and I didn't mind this at all. I'm chipping with my 60-degree wedge, and I figured I'd just put it on the green, let it run to the hole. It shouldn't be a problem, and I hit everything pretty nicely. But again, I wasn't quite ready for the green speeds, and they were checking and not rolling out at all. So 8 to 10 footer here for par. So after the first hole, I should feel pretty good, and I hit a great putt, but didn't really get the read right, nor did I hit a great putt. So bogey on the second hole, not my favorite. Third hole here is a short 316-yard par 4. I have the 5-wood, and the goal is just to get it in play in the fairway. It's a short hole, so I couldn't go for it with the driver. Never have played here before, so I have no idea what's out there. And so I just try to aim for things I could see and hit a pretty decent 5-wood and feeling good about my swing at this point. And I have 101, so I'm going to hit a 54-degree wedge, and it should just be a nice stock 54-degree wedge for me. And hit it pretty nicely, and it just traveled a lot farther than I was ready for.
All right.
That's for sure. So I have a long putt just off the green, uphill, probably 40 feet. And again, those green speeds are just not what I'm currently used to coming from California. So another 4 or 5 footer that I just didn't give the right amount to. So bogey again. This is not looking good. And so I'm practicing my little cut swing here on this hole. And it's a 355-yard par 4. I'm trying to play a little cut shot, which I did, but I hit it maybe 10 feet off the ground the whole way. Clipped that little bush you see in front of me. I'm just got lucky. Found the fairway, and I have 140, so I'm hitting a 9-iron here. Severe uphill stance. And so I'm trying to aim a bit right, because I know I'm going to pull it a little bit with that and hit a really good shot, but overcooked the draw quite a bit. And, did the cardinal mistake here in short-siding myself. So here I'm just 60-degree wedge, and I'm trying to decide if I want to risk it and possibly chip again or carry it on the green. And I carried it on the green, went a little too far, and gave myself a 15-footer for par to not go on the bogey train, which I did go on the bogey train. So not my favorite 3 in a row bogey situation. So here we go. This is a par 5, 548 yards. I am hitting a 5-wood off the tee because you can run out of fairway down there. So it's not necessarily a driver from this tee box. Pured my 5-wood and put it in perfect position. This is a beautiful hole overlooking the entire mountain range and Lake Arrowhead out in the distance. So again, have another 5-wood here from about 230. Green is up just near those trees you see on the right. So I'm aiming left, just going to try to play a little cut shot. Ball is a little above my feet, lost my balance a bit. Just kind of came over to touch, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm going to use my 60-degree wedge for my next shot, just in these little wispies here. Not difficult, and my goal in life right now is don't make 4 bogeys in a row. So nice birdie putt from about 15, 16 feet here. And it just slid off a little more to the right than I thought. Again, I'm getting used to the breaks here and felt like I had to make this 3-footer for par and barely made it, but whew, got away with the par. So we're off the bogey train, but now we're coming to a difficult hole, 406 yards, par 4, and I'm just really focused on getting a good driver swing. But don't ever practice a fade swing and try to play a draw right after that because it's probably not going to work. And I took a drop because the ball was in the hazard and then hit a fantastic 8-iron here from 154. And I was really happy about this swing because my ball was only about 4 feet from the hole. So I still had this to save par, which obviously I'll make because I'm putting so great today. So that's not a problem at all. Whoops, bogey again. My putting was not on today, and it might have been the 2,500-mile drive across the country, the 100% humidity that I'm not used to, the 90-degree temperatures. I've got all the excuses in the book right now, and after that, I face a 213-yard, playing 220 uphill, par 3, and I've got the 5-wood again. So I'm just trying to put this thing on the green, trying to play a little cut shot, and hit a beauty. It started it basically at the flag, and it cut a little after the fact, and got it up there maybe about 25 feet right of the hole, maybe less. I mean, it's like a 15-footer for birdie, and I was feeling great about this. I thought I was going to make it. But again, the green speeds were just giving me a little bit of problems, but I'll take that par on this challenging hole. 8th hole now, 435 yard, par 4. And I'm feeling good, and I'm hopefully learned my lesson about the type of shot and the focus I'm going to have on the tee. So I got my driver, and I really put a good move on that ball, so that felt good. Hit the middle of the fairway here. Okay, felt good. See? Well, actually, it looked like it hit the middle of the fairway, but I went through the fairway. So this is where it ended up. I got super lucky, and downhill lie. I'm leaning on my front foot, open the face up a little bit. I hit a 50-degree wedge here, and the goal was don't pull it left. Don't let that club turn over in that rough, and just left myself short. 30-footer uphill. I'm really going to hit this thing this time because that green speed has been giving me fits. As you can see, the ball rolls nicely. They're just super slow greens at the moment. 6-footer for par. Nice. And woo, my ball didn't want to go in the hole easily. It was a battle all day, I'll tell you that. But saved par there. Okay, 401 yard. You see me working on that little cut shot because there's a lot of trouble down there, and I'm laying way back because, again, you can run out of fairway here. So 5-wood in hand. And I'm aiming center right side, trying not to draw it too much. Hit a beautiful draw, and it drew too much for me. but I was happy with the contact. But again,
Wow.
similar to the last hole, I ran through the fairway. You can't even see the ball, but it's there. Almost, I don't know how it didn't go in the last 2 holes, but that's where it was. Got a pitching wedge here from 128, choking down, same setup I just had on the previous hole. And hit a really good one. Caught a little bit of a flyer on that shot, but not to worry. I was happy to be on the green. This is about a 45-footer, all downhill, so I wasn't too worried about getting it to the hole. And there's also a ridge on the green, so you just get it to the top of that ridge and let it feed down to the hole. So typically I try to get it right to the top of the ridge, but again, the green speeds were so slow, it got to the top of the ridge and then just stayed there. So I had to do it again, all downhill. Hit a good putt. I figured it would roll out. There's a big slope there, but it didn't, and that's a bogey again. So frontside 41, not my favorite. But again, here we go. Back 9. Highlands course here at Lake Arrowhead. This is a beautiful track if you're ever in the North Georgia area. It's like a vacation community. This place is awesome. Driver in hand here. I'm assured there's no trouble. It's a 474-yard par 5. So I let the big dog eat. I smoked a drive here. And again, I thought it was perfect. I should have brought a 3-wood in my bag this round because I outran a lot of fairways. So I've got to hook this thing. This is a 7-iron from 178 going into the par 5. And I'm just trying to hook it. But if you go too far, you're in trouble. If you go too short, you're in like a creek. So you have to pick the right number. And I did, barely. And so now I'm just testing the surface contact because I want to bounce the 60-degree off the turf and let it just feed on the green, which I hit a good shot and it rolled out. So I'm looking to make my first birdie. Now, as you can see, they sanded the greens recently and they're just healing. That's why they're long and a little sandy. Have a good look at birdie here, but probably my worst putt of the day in terms of line. Putter face was wide open, so
Not even close.
par. I was happy with pars though, especially on this day where I wasn't really striking the ball very well. Shorter hole here, and again, I'm assured that there's really no trouble up there. Stay left of that bunker you see out in the distance. Uphill 331, so green is up there around to the left a little bit. Hit a pretty good low bullet drive. Found the center of the fairway. So that was good. 93 yards here. I've got the 54-degree wedge. Green light special. Luckily, I'd never seen this hole before because this is a big 3-tiered green. And I have a 25-footer straight uphill, and I'm thinking it's breaking a touch right to left. And I'm playing right edge here. And I hit one of my better putts of the day. I thought I made it. But it just hugged that right edge and it refused to drop in the hole for me. So it's a little tap in par, no problem at all. So the 12th hole here is a 442-yard par 4. Now you see me doing this fade swing practice, which is great. It's a great swing thought. However, I'm not trying to play a fade here. So I don't know what my brain did today, but it definitely shut off. I think I'm allergic to humidity because practicing a fade swing and trying to play a draw does not equal finding the fairway. What happens is you hit it in the hazard and you take a drop. So then you're hitting your third shot with a 7-iron from 178 yards. And I hit a pretty good one, but then you're chipping with a 9-iron to run it up there, so that's fantastic, which was fine. There's a big slope on there, and then I had this guy left, which has plagued me all day, and left it short, and that's a double bogey. So, like I said, don't practice fades and try to play a draw. Now we have a 204-yard par 3. I'm hitting a 5-iron here, slightly downhill, and I'm aiming center of the green, trying to play a little cut to the back right pin, and I did a push cut. So luckily I found this ball, but I'm in this hard pan lie, as you'll see right here, And I did a video on this recently. So there's two options. You could play it like a bunker shot, or I'm going to, in this scenario, put my hands forward, put the ball back, and hit down through the ball and try to land it just short and bounce it up there, which I hit a pretty good shot. I wasn't displeased having about an 8-9 footer here for par. And I'm reading this a touch left to right break. And it's fairly flat, maybe touch downhill. And it just slid off to the right more than I had thought, and hit a good putt at it. But again, it's another bogey. It's the story of my day. Here we have a 372-yard par 4, the 14th hole. I'm hitting a hybrid here. So again, practicing that fade swing, but hybrid, you know, I'll probably hit this in the fairway every time because it's a hybrid. I mean, what else are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you what else you do is you drop it in the hazard, and then you take a drop again, so you're hitting 3. And that's a 7-iron from 171. The ball a little above my feet, so that ball's going to hook a bit. So it did, and I put it way over there. I got to go up a slope, 30-footer, and putting is just got my head all messed up these days, or this day. And so did that and tapped that guy in later for par. Just had to wait for everybody, so decided to stop the camera for you. This hole is a good hole, 411-yard par 4. I've got driver. I was told to not go left. That's a great swing thought before you're about to hit. So I aimed for the center, playing a little cut shot off the center, which I did. I pushed it just a touch, but this was a really good swing, a good drive, and I just found the right light rough, which I was fine with. However, there were some trees here because I'm using a 54-degree wedge from 116, and because it's downhill, so probably a wrong club choice. As you can tell, I clipped a little of those tree branches and came up short. So I have about a 50-yard pitch shot now back up the hill. I'm using a 60-degree wedge, and this time I'm trying to fly it pretty close to the hole because I'm kind of sick of things coming up short. So I landed it pretty good. You can see that thing just stops pretty quickly. So a 6-footer again for par, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss at this point because that's been the story of my day. So I'm just chalking up a bogey here. Hey, I made a par. What do you know? 16th hole here. This is only 312 yards, so I'm trying to go for it. Now, in this thick Georgia humidity, I'm probably not going to be able to hit it that far, but I'm aiming at the green, and I'm going to swing here as hard as I can. Usually when I swing as hard as I can, I don't go left, so that's good. Or I don't go too far left.
What a drive.
That came up a little bit short, hit it really good, so I was pretty happy with that drive. And I've got this chip here, which finally I think I'm going to make a birdie. This is a pretty easy up and down. Got plenty of green to work with, actually, and I'm not too far, but, oh, oops, offended. Yeah, story of my day here. So, although I'm on, I could have been a lot closer, about a 15-footer for birdie here. And I hit a pretty good putt, but man, I'm just not reading the breaks. There's grain on these that I'm not used to and I'm not looking for. Just don't play on this type of surface very often. Okay, 17th. This one's playing 116 downhill, so I'm hitting a 50-degree wedge. And this is a good swing. 3 out of 4 of us were within 15 feet of this hole, so it was pretty good hole for everybody. And I'm looking to finally make a birdie if I can from about 10 feet. And again, the grain got me, and so it was a backwards putting par, barely. All right, so last hole. You see me backing up here. I feel like I wanted a little more distance because on the line I felt like I had to take with my driver. You have to go over those trees. So I wanted as much distance from those trees as possible. So I backed it up, which you're allowed to do, and I'm doing that little cut swing because I don't want to hook it too far left. And I hit my line perfectly. What I didn't know is that the fairway sloped pretty hard from right to left. Again, the hazards of never playing a course, not knowing anything about it, and not being able to see what's in front of you is difficult. So I've got this difficult one. It didn't really go anywhere, but near those bushes up there. So now I'm hitting an 8-iron from 168, and I have to hook this a good 30 yards to get it near the green. I probably hooked it 20 yards. So that was not bad. Just short right of the green. I was pretty happy with that. So I got this little pitch. This is up and down all day long. I'm using a pitching wedge. But man, that thing just stopped. These greens are just really biting. And then, yeah, 2-putted for bogey. So that's a nice little 82 on the day. You're welcome. Not my best round, but certainly had a great time here at the Highlands course at Lake Arrowhead in Georgia. If you're ever in the neighborhood, give them a check out.